Good morning. I'm doing an early video today because I need to leave my office for a little bit because my son forgot his backpack at my house, so I have to take it so that he's not at school doing nothing. So I'll be back as soon as I'm done with that. But I just wanted to make the video before I left the house. We have a big overnight gap. So we had a up move on Friday and then a drop that happened when there was tariffs talks, and we had this big drop close right about the middle of the 20-day range, and then overnight we gapped up with a big gap. It's not something that you see very often, but so we have, if you look at at a daily chart, right? We had this high that we put here. Then we made a lower high, lower low, and then we made a big rally, and we all thought that we were gonna take this high. We couldn't take this high, so now then we made a higher low. So we, the what people were looking for was a higher high, right? So because this was a higher high, they were looking for a higher high. We couldn't get there, so now we're coming back down at the low side of the range. We had this low volume area, which is right below all the moving averages, the 21, the 20, the 50, and we're trading below the previous week's low. So this is going to be a key area for today. Do we hold below the 6,000, or do we come back above it and squeeze the hell out of the shorts and come back into the 60-70 to 60-80 area? That's the question for today. After a big gap, it's kind of hard to move too much either direction in general. So it wouldn't surprise me that we just hang around this range and we attempt to break above it and we fail, and then we come back into that 59.88. This, by the way, this 59.88 level was a level that I use my usual target imbalance, because the point of control was here. I took point of control minus the high of the day and subtracted that difference, and then I got 59.88, and the overnight high and the open was exactly right there. Not exactly, but like a takeaway or so. Hold on. Hold on. I'm losing here my. Oh, here. I was looking at the wrong area of the chart. Right here, you see that we on that move in the middle of the night, we just got there to the tick. The overnight high was a couple of ticks away from that. So, but anyway, my whole point is that since Friday, traders were aiming at this, and we opened right there, this high volume node. So I'm gonna look for today at that. In fact, actually, I'm probably not gonna trade that much today because I hit my goal between last night and this morning. But this is the area that we have to be looking at for resistance, and this is the second area of resistance. But this is a little bit far away from current price action. And the other thing that was saying yesterday is that if we lose the overnight low for today, 59.50 is it's a key level. You could see all night there was some icebergs there, and you can see right now all this high delta here. So if we get below the 59.50 area, I'm gonna be looking for a gap fill and a return to the scene of the crime from the CPI. And then from there, if we start trading inside this range, then this is a 3-day value, a 3-day balance. So I'm gonna be looking for a move down to the lower side of balance for this these 3 sessions, which you can see if we do a merge of these 3 days, the target would be down here 58.50. The point of control would be first though, of course, right? 58.62-ish. And then we had a January low is at 58.13, and then we had a pending target at 58.06. So that's if we get sellers to take the overnight low. There was a big bounce from those lows, so it could be that we just balance around here. And now you can see that there's a slightly bullish imbalance in the overnight session. You can see that the point of control is in the upper part of the range, and we are aiming to take that to test that previous week's low, which is a spot where we might find some sellers after we close that weekly gap, right? Okay. As far as news for ES, we have PMI at 9:45. We have ISM at 10 a.m. So we do have some news that could trigger a move. We also have OPEC meetings ongoing all day, and some bill auctions at 11:30. And then we have some Fed speaking at 12:30. So we do have some potential volatility triggers for a move back into the range, into value. NQ also same structure. We have that move below the previous week's low, but look how NQ is trading inside the range of the previous week's low. So to me, this is telling me that there's a potential for a little bit of a squeeze at some point. For NQ, the target will be 21,400, and then here is the area that there's gonna be some sellers right at the 50 moving average at 21,450, and then below NQ had already filled that gap, if I'm not mistaken, the CPI gap, or almost. I think there's still like a few points left, so slightly different structure, but still big gap, and the only difference is that NQ is now trading inside the previous week's range. So watch that low, that 21.95 on NQ, and see if we stay above it, or if we start trading below it. That in conjunction with what ES is doing is going to give you clues as to where this market wants to go. And crude, because of all this news and OPEC and all that, we had that. So we had this low volume node. I remember I said that at this lows, I was looking for buyers to take it to the other side of the range, and overnight we broke that resistance, and then we tested this other area. So I deleted this one because we traded through a bunch of times, and now this one is the one that's more relevant. And we tested it by a couple of ticks, and then we came back, and now we're trading inside this range. So 75.20, if we break above it, looks for 75.80. If we stay below it, Then this is right now is kind of like a double distribution with some support at right at the 21 EMA, or the 74 area, and if we get below that, below 73.80, then 73.15 is the target, and then 72.70. Gold had a pullback the other day, and remember how I mentioned that this two lows, right? If we get below those two lows, then we will be trading inside this distribution, and then I was gonna be looking for a move down to value, but look how it tested it. See, it tested it right below that low volume node, and then bounced back above those two highs. So that right there, if I would have been awake, it would have been a good entry with a stop right there, back to that 5-day point of control. Now we have to see if this high stays, holds. We have 3 highs right there. I think those are kind of vulnerable. Whoever's shorting is going to have their stops there. So whoever shorted this, so we'll see if this holds or not. If we make new highs and keep going into the 2900s. All right, I'm gonna go take care of my son's backpack, and then I'll be back.